Hello guys, I am back with another episode. As I was about to record this episode, there is someone who shared a video with me on WhatsApp, such a disturbing video. The video was of a young girl and a young boy. From the way it looks like these two, they are staying in the villages. This young girl, maybe she's around 5 or 6 years, she was walking from school. Then this 13-year-old boy attacked that small girl, so he was forcing himself on that young girl in the middle of a road. Then someone took the video and went and rescued that small girl. That is very bad, just abusing that little girl just like that, destroying someone's future. I think that boy must be arrested or something has to be done. Let us get into the episode of the day. I have a message that I received on Wednesday from my dear sister. The message reads like this: "Hello, my brother Nashi. Please hide my identity. I'm a young woman and I am aged 28. I grew up in the villages and I was staying with my grandmother. She was my mother's mother. Growing up, all that I can say is that my grandmother was such a good woman and she raised me well. I was disciplined and I listened and I respected elderly people. So I grew up in a stable environment." So it happened that after I had completed my high school, I moved from the village. Then I went and I started to stay in another town, and I was staying with my cousin sister. We stayed together and everything was fine, and that was the first time ever having a boyfriend. And by that time I was only 19 years old. I had kept myself all these years and I was still a virgin when I started dating this boyfriend of mine. When we started dating, I told him that I am still a virgin and we are not going to have sex before marriage, because in my mind I had told myself that the man that is going to pay for my bride price, he is the man that is going to take me to bed. He is the man who is going to take my virginity away. And he agreed to everything that I had told him. In fact, he showed that he was so happy that I was still a virgin. So me and this guy, we dated for 4 months and we were so madly in love with each other. I had never been in this love like this. So what then happened to me is that I was so deep in love with this guy, and I never thought that one day he was going to turn around and do this terrible thing that he did to me. I was so used to my guy and I loved him and I was not afraid of him. There was this other day, he said to me, "Let us go to our place. I want you to meet my grandmother." My boyfriend then lied to me. He said that my grandmother said that she wants to meet you so that you guys can have a formal relationship. But at first I refused, but he kept on insisting and he forced me until I agreed. So I told him that, okay, we are going to go to your house, but what we are going to do is that I am only going to be in your house for only about 5 minutes. Then he said that it is okay, 5 minutes is okay. Then he came at my place and he picked me up. Then we went together. As we were going to his place, I thought in my heart that I am going to see his grandmother. But when we arrived at his place, I saw that there was no one home. There was nobody at his place. My brother, these boys, they will never enter heaven for sure. This guy, what he did to me, I don't think that he'll ever enter heaven. We went into his house and we were in the dining room, and my heart started beating so fast. It was as if my own heart was telling me that this whole situation that is in this house is not good for you. Just run away with your life. So I could not sit down. I just stood there as I faced him. Then I asked him, "Where is your grandmother?" And he responded to my question and he said to me, "My grandmother is not here. My relatives, all of them, they have traveled back to the village." It's only me. I am home alone. When he said that, he went and he locked all of the doors. When I saw that my boyfriend had locked all of the doors, I tried to fight with him because I wanted to run away. But as much as I was trying to fight with this guy, trying to free myself, but this guy just overpowered me. After he had overpowered me, he pulled me into this other room that he used as his own bedroom. After he had pulled me into that room, then he threw me on the bed. Without any mercy, my brother, after he had thrown me on the bed, this is what he did to me. He abused me, but he did not use his manhood to abuse me. In fact, he only used his fingers to abuse me. At first, he pushed one of his fingers into my private parts. Then after that, he forced two of his fingers into my private part. Then he started forcing the third finger. When he saw that he had successfully pushed his third finger into me, he then pushed the fourth finger. After that, he then pushed his whole hand into my private parts. Blood was coming out, but he showed me no mercy. As he was forcing his fingers and his hand into my private parts, blood was everywhere. I was crying. Tears were just falling from my face. There was a time when I felt that I was about to die. I felt that even my spirit was about to leave my body. I nearly died because this boyfriend of mine, he was choking me. What he had done to me is that he had took a pillow and he had covered my face with that pillow. So it was so difficult for me to breathe. There was blood everywhere. There was blood on the bed. There was blood on the dress that I was wearing. After he had finished abusing me, what he did is that he rose from the bed. Then he went and he took a bucket, filled that bucket with water. Then he started washing his hands. After that, he said to me, "Leave my room. I want you to leave my house and I want you to go back to your house." When I saw that he was chasing me out of his house after he had abused me like this, I said, "No, I am not going anywhere." But when he saw that I didn't want to leave his house, he started to assault me. He kept on beating me. When I saw that the way that he was beating me, it was just too bad, I then walked out of his house. But as I was walking back to my cousin's house, I could not walk properly because it was so painful. But lucky enough, when I arrived at my cousin's sister's house, she was not there. When I saw that my sister was not there, I went inside. Then I started to bath myself. But my brother, it was so painful. That is the most painful thing that has ever happened to me. This man, he had injured me, and the way that he had injured me is that whenever I would try to go to the toilet so that I can urinate, it was so painful. Inside, I felt that I had been injured. I could not even urinate without feeling pain. When I saw that the pain was just too much, what I did is that I took a bucket of water, then I mixed salt with that water, then I started to wash myself, and then I took some Vaseline thinking that maybe I'll be okay. But in the end, I managed to heal. But my brother, I only healed in flesh. But as for my spirit, my heart has been broken. On that day that I lost my virginity, my heart was broken into a million pieces. This boyfriend of mine, I then told him that if I die before you have paid for the sins that you have committed against me, what is going to happen is that the day that I die, my spirit is not going to rest in the grave, but my spirit will rise up from the grave. I will come and I will find you. I will torment you and your family for the rest of your days because you have hurt me so much. My brother, please tell me, have you ever heard of any man that has used his whole hand to remove the virginity of a woman that he loved? Anonymous, crying. Now what happens to me is that whenever I look at myself in the mirror, I don't see a human being. don't see myself as a woman. I ask myself, God, am I just an animal? Because if I was not an animal, why would a man that I had loved use his own hand to remove my own virginity? This man left me with a broken heart. This man left me with a deep wound that can never be healed. There is so much pain in my heart. Brothers and sisters out there, they are murderers. This story happened 9 years ago, but to me, each and every day, it's like this wound is very fresh. Each and every time that I think about this story, I just cry and I cry. My problem that I am having now, Brother Nashi, is that I hate sex so much, and whenever I try to have sex with the man that I'll be dating at that time, I don't enjoy sex anymore. I don't know what to do, because the more that we'll be having sexual intercourse with the men that I'll be dating at the time, I'll just cry as that man will be having sexual intercourse with me. In the end, that man will ask me, "Why are you crying?" Anonymous, crying. But I'll just say, it's nothing, continue, I am okay. When it comes to romance, if a man tries to touch my private parts, I panic. I don't want anyone to touch my private parts ever again. I am so traumatized by what that man did to me. My brother, this is my own secret. I have never told anyone. Now looking back, when I look at that man who abused me, I ask myself that maybe he was just a ritualist, but when I look at the life that he is living, he's just a poor man. He's not rich, he's not anything. If he was just a rich guy, at least I'll say that maybe he took away my virginity to do his blood rituals. But the way that he's poor, I don't think that he used my virginity for his blood rituals. He just wanted to fix me. Dear listeners, there was a message that I received on Wednesday from this sister of ours. Such a sad story. I think this man is supposed to be arrested. It is impossible that a man claims to love a woman, then you use your own hand to abuse the person that you claim to love. Let's meet again in the following episodes.